So you mentioned something that I definitely want to hone in on, because you said you really want to discover what those people's passions are and then try and align them to the right part of the business. One of the things that I've always admired about you, Chris, is you are such a passionate leader. You really bring that passion. You bring that energy to your teams, and you bring that energy to clients and customers, which I think is awesome. It's contagious. But I would love your point of view around that. Where do you think passion falls in to leadership?
I think it falls in at the very top, to be quite frank about it. I view my job as to align a person's passion with a purpose. Now, purpose could be a role. It could be, what's the initiative, getting the right people together on a team to accomplish the goal. But this is just my perspective. But I think much too often leadership has the right intention of wanting to get the right person in the right seat on the bus. And they think they may know what will help not only them and the company, but you accelerate your professional growth. But in reality, I don't know how many of us are talking directly to that person and saying, hey, what are you passionate about? What motivates you when you get up in the morning? And when you take the time to do that and have those discussions with those folks, then some of those other things fall into place pretty quickly. So passion to me is the people. So this is going to sound really counterintuitive. I've said this to you before, but I don't focus and fixate on the numbers. That's not how it works for me. I fixate on the people on the team and working to get the right people in the right spots. And from that, you can build out pretty quickly and you can accelerate things. But your team is much happier when you're engaged with them and you're understanding their point of view versus telling them what you think. I mean, it's okay to have the conversation and say, you know what, I think you would be really good at. I've seen these traits from you over the last year that I think could be helpful. But at the end of the day, if you don't take that one extra step up front and understand where they're coming from and what they're passionate about, you'd be surprised. I think the key certainly is to unlock your hidden talent within the organization, but that's part of how you do it, right?
Yeah.
Let's understand what motivates you. And then let me look at all the pieces to the puzzle and see where that's the best fit. And then the numbers just happen. It's like magic.
Okay, so I want to take this idea then of passion and what you just described and help us think through the complexity of this. So it's really easy when it's one-on-one, right? I just sit down with my individual, team member and I say, let's talk about your passions. But what happens when you've got all these branches and locations and so many people and you can't sit down with everybody, but you still want them to feel that sense of passion about the business and the sense of passion that you care? So I guess the question is, how do you scale passion, Chris?
That's the beauty part about the virtual world. So I'm torn about this piece right now because I think the technology is fantastic. Like right now, we're taking advantage of it. I take advantage of it every single day with my teams on virtual calls and meetings. But at the same time, there's no substitute for being face-to-face. But this piece to the puzzle really helps scale things out. And the other thing too is when you can put people together to help solve problems in sub-teams, you start building that network out. And to me, that word starts getting around to your entire squad that you're leading. And so it doesn't happen overnight. It's not one team's call. I've driven many miles and certainly flown many miles, but taking the time to truly understand just simple things about a person's life, outside of work, sometimes they can point you in a direction. So scaling it out isn't easy by any means, but I think today's technology kind of helps us get a sense of, hey, who you are as a leader, right? And consistency is probably right up there with taking advantage of the technology.